Logistics. Getting to the trailhead is very easy. It is right in the middle of Portland at the visitor centre. You can leave your car there for free. The staff at the visitor centre recommend that I park in front of the security cameras along the dock area, immediately in front of the visitor centre and to the left as you walk out. I would suggest letting the staff at the visitor centre know it is your vehicle and that you are hiking the Great Southwest Walk. At the same time, they'll probably suggest to you that you fill out an official document for VicPol in the event that you do not return as per your itinerary. If you choose to fill out this voluntary form, be ready with your itinerary, which will include your campsite that you'll be at and what date that will be on. And have your emergency contact details ready as well. They told me they would raise the alarm if I was a day or two overdue, and they also said if I returned after hours, they'll notice that my car has gone and they'll know that means I have returned from my hike as well. There are other ways to get to Portland if you're not travelling by car. So if you're flying in, it would be best to fly into Melbourne Airport. From there you can catch a train to Warrnambool and transfer onto a bus to Portland via the V-Line train and coach service. They state it takes 5.5 hours to complete this trip, and their timetable and more information can be found at www.visitportland.com.au. Just scroll to the bottom of the webpage and click the public transport link. I then booked my accommodation through booking.com. I found that the information was accurate for the motel I stayed at and would highly recommend it to anyone who's staying in Portland with a car, because it's actually not too close to the trailhead. There is other closer accommodation options. If you want to look at that accommodation, I'll put it below in the description. Now I do have to add, you have to book your sites in advance along the trail. These come in at about $5.60 at the moment, but I've noticed that they go up and down depending on what time of the year you book in. And this is, I guess, so that it doesn't become overcrowded on trail. But this does cause a bit of a problem if you don't know how quickly you're going to hike. Like me, I booked in 13 days worth of huts and I hiked the whole trail in 10, which meant I wasn't at the right hut at the right night, which thankfully wasn't a problem because I only encountered one other person on the trail. But if you're hiking in prime hiking season, this could be a problem, and it may not be welcomed by Parks Victoria. I did call in advance and check that it was okay if I didn't stick to my itinerary, and the guys at the visitor centre, it wouldn't be a problem. But I did notice at the Mallee camp there are tent platforms, and I think if there's more than about 8 people, you won't actually have room to pitch your tent. Resupply. As I mentioned before, the trail is super accessible, so if you want, you can stash your resupply boxes near the campsites before starting your hike, provided that you have access to a car. If you do this, ensure it is in an animal-proof container, so at least sealed with in a box or a container made of hard plastic. What I chose to do is carry supplies to get me from Portland to Nelson and then back to Portland again. I accounted for 7 days of food to get there and 6 days to return. The Nelson Visitor Centre is more than happy to hold onto your resupply boxes and has great opening hours, which are from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and from 1:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. every day. They are very friendly and helpful to hikers, and were happy to arrange to bring in my supply box that I left in their front door as I had to very early departure the next morning. I found doing this certainly was the easiest method of resupply. I would not recommend relying on buying your food in the town, as their grocery store was closed when I arrived and opened late in the morning. There is a service station in town, which is where I also arranged a room to stay in. They are also attached to a motel right next door, but there is next to no supplies for a hiker in that service station. That afternoon, I got coins from the service station and walked another, K or 2 down the road to the Kaiwong Caravan Park to do my washing. Unfortunately, there is nowhere else in town to do your laundry, but please note the time the local pub which also has accommodation, was shut for renovations when I hiked through. So there is a possibility they could do laundry. They also do meals and have accommodation. So if this is open, I would book in there. The BP service station is a good backup. However, I did not book in advance, and the accommodation had only one other person staying there overnight and appeared to be around 8 rooms available in total. But I did hike in the winter months, so this may be busy during the summer. So yeah, now that the planning side of things is complete, I feel that that's enough information for you to make your mind up if this is a hike for you, and so you can get out there and start your hike.